Hello, thank you for watching this edition of On the Move with Lady Kate. It's a beautiful day in Maryland, and what an opportunity to introduce a series, a financial planning series. As a community, how are we doing planning for those unforeseen circumstances? And I'm so excited to be joined today by none other than Mr. Kenneth Epie. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Welcome. We're very excited to have you, and I know you have a lot of knowledge to share. For those who don't know, Mr. Kenneth Epie is from Cameroon. He was born in Cameroon, and he has lived in the United States for over 40 years. And he is who I call a true African American.
Wow,
welcome, sir. We are so excited to have you.
Thank you.
Yes.
I want to thank you for inviting me to your show.
Indeed.
I mean, this is a great audience here. Thank you, guys. And just want to explain to you guys a little bit about myself. You know, like she said, I was born in Cameroon, and I've been here about 40 years. That's a long time.
It is, indeed.
So, I believe if I go to Cameroon again, I'm just going to be like...
You're going to be a stranger.
I'll be a stranger in my own motherland.
Yes.
You know, but the good thing is, you know, migrating from, you know, Africa to America...
Right.
It's something that when you look back, you ask yourself, why did I do it? Or was it the right thing for me to do?
Right.
But when you look forward, I think it's a positive thing.
It sure is. You know, I'm an immigrant myself, immigrating from Cameroon some years back, and I love living here in the United States, but my roots are still very strong and solid in Cameroon.
That's
and
good.
yes, I love Africa. I love being American, African. It's just, I feel that it's a very rich background to have. But we are here today to look at something that is very, very important to our community. Okay. As immigrants, we don't really, most of us culturally don't think and plan financially. Am I wrong to say that?
No, you're absolutely right. Right. You're absolutely right. Now, being in the insurance industry, I've been in the industry for about 31 years. And from what I have noticed, you know, which is something that I want to try to bring, you know, that awareness to my community.
Yeah.
The other communities that are in the United States, you know, the Spanish, the Jewish, you know, name it, but they are so involved and they educate their people, and their people are willing to learn, because the one mistake we don't want to make, there's nothing wrong in migrating from Africa to America. But if you look at the old biblical stories, when you go to Rome,
you do as the Romans do, yes.
And that's something that we need to start thinking and changing our mindset.
Yes.
From the kid that we're having in America, because we're getting older. So, in terms of health insurance, I'm going to give my people another opportunity to realize that it is important for us to start looking at things. The world is changing. America is changing. It's not like it used to be 40 years ago when we came.
Right.
So please, try to learn a little bit more about the insurance, health insurance, life insurance, critical illness. I call it critical illness because in our community, within the last 8 years that I've been in Maryland, we have lost a bunch of our lovely brothers and sisters.
Oh yes, we have seen people just drop dead, you know, from heart attacks to cancer to all kinds of, I mean, car accidents. People just, and every time we are so shocked, we talk about it then, and then it goes away. We never really sit down and really examine how, as a community, how we are planning for these unforeseen circumstances. And I know you mentioned health insurance. Health insurance, I know most people who work have the option to take up health insurance from their work. And I think there's also a tendency, because it does cost money, it's a big chunk out of your check, there's a tendency not to sign up. I mean, there are people who don't take it up, and it's there. It's cheaper than actually going to get it on your own, right? So what is your advice on that?
The only advice I can give my fellow brothers and sisters, when you get a job, normally they present you with your employment package. And that package includes your insurance information.
Right.
Now, what I have noticed people do, they turn to look at the premium. Oh my God, that's too much money. I can't afford to pay that. It's going to take all my paycheck. It is true. Mm-hmm. We're all trying to put our finances together.
Together, yes.
But let's start to think outside the box.
Right.
It is very, very important.
Mm-hmm.
If we can figure out how to put a budget together,
right,
where you can afford that insurance, because you're the breadwinner, don't forget.
True.
If something happened to you and you are not working and you're sick, mm-hmm. how are you going to support your family?
You have a mortgage to pay or rent to pay, car note to pay. You know, you have to feed your family.
You have kids in the daycare.
Your family is depending on you. And if you get sick and that check stops coming in,
it creates a lot of problems.
Very, very tough.
Yes,
very tough.
Now, a good 60% of bankruptcy in America, right, is due to medical bills. So that is a huge percentage. Right. So my advice is, let's start to educate ourselves. Right. I am willing, some of you, if you're friends of mine on Facebook, you can see where I put a little bit of, advertisement. I'm willing to give free consultations. You guys are free to call me. You're free to go to my website, open it, send me contact information. I will get back to you. I can come to your home or to your office, or you can come to our office, downtown Silver Spring. The address is 8209 Fenton Street. Sure. Suite number 5, Silver Spring, Maryland. The zip code is 20910.
That's for sure.
So I'm willing to give free information, to give you guys a lot of information about the healthcare system. Because right now, when they talk about Obamacare, we don't know if it's going to be repealed, or if it's not going to be repealed. Right. So it is critical that we take things,
But talking about Obamacare, for those who don't have, like, if you don't have the insurance from your job, it's still good to, subscribe to Obamacare and get insured that way. It's still cheaper than getting a private insurance.
It is.
It's still an option. It hasn't been repealed yet.
It is an option, but again, a lot of people don't have the right information. Right. There's certain rules and regulations for you to qualify for Obamacare. Right. So you may want to call your local,
and find out, get more information on how to enroll.
So if you call me, I will be able.
You can help with that too.
I will be able to explain that to them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
As a nurse, I'm a nurse myself, and working in the health profession, I have seen, the impact of not having health insurance. Yeah. When patients go to the hospital without insurance, you get the basic treatment and they get you stabilized and you head on home. Yep. And anything could happen to you at home. We've seen friends who have died at home, Cameroonians who have passed away at home, who were in the emergency room the night before. So, and then the next morning they're gone. So it's really important to get your health insurance. And now let's move on to the other aspect, which is financial planning in the community.
That financial planning is a big word. A lot of people,
yes,
what are they talking
about? It's huge.
But to break it down, what I call financial planning is, if you have health insurance and you were sick, right, and you died, just like you said, we've lost some of our family members. Sure. Now, what did that family person leave back for the wife, the kids? Right. And, you got a mortgage to pay. So that's where life insurance comes in. A good 80% of the Americans, they plan for that.
Right, 80% of Americans.
They plan for that.
Wow.
Because they got a home, they got kids, and they have a business.
That's right.
They have to be protected. So think about it. We all drive a car. We come from Africa, we buy a car, you want to drive, that's fine. Yeah. But if you get hurt and you were in the hospital, it creates a lot of problems. Right. So life insurance is very critical because it will leave something for your family. But there's another area that I also want to talk about, and that is critical illness, because it is the number one thing that really affects everybody.
Right.
Buying a critical illness policy will help your family also, because health insurance covers you if you're in the hospital. Your life insurance pays if you die, but the critical illness pays you lump sum cash, anywhere from 50 to 100,000, whichever one you took.
Right.
So, thinking about it, let's say you had stroke and you were in the hospital and you can't work. But the insurance company, within 10 days, got information that you're in the hospital for stroke or heart attack. They immediately cut you a check for $50,000 if that's the policy that you selected, or another check for $100,000. You getting paid for being sick. You did the right thing. That money right there you can use to take care of other little stuff.
Sure.
You can use that money to pay your health insurance, your life insurance.
So you keep up with your premiums,
you keep up with your premiums,
your mortgage, and all your commitments until you recover.
To go back to work.
That's right.
But you know the good thing?
Yeah.
Everybody said money is green. With that amount of money, that emotional stress that most people get from being sick, believe me, you recuperate faster because it is in the mind.
That everything is taken care of. Because if you can't meet up with your commitments, it causes a huge amount of stress, and that could in turn impact your journey to recovery. Yeah, that's right. So if you have that taken care of, the stress is not there, you will, recover quicker. Yeah, I do agree with you on that entirely. Yeah.
So with that said, I also want to make sure that our young children that we have in America start to learn a lot of this information. So when they get their first job, like this month, the month of May, we've had a lot of graduations.
Oh my God, tell me about it. Yes,
the
graduating,
doctors, the lawyers.
Yes.
So if they understand some of this, when they go to work, they will not play with their medical insurance. Now, for the young people out there, make sure you sign up for your 401k.
Right.
And also, you can call me. I have a plan that is called the Index Universal Plan, life insurance. It builds cash value in the future. So all that money you're making as a doctor or a pharmacist, if you can put some of it into that plan, you will come out ahead within the next 5-10 years. You have more money than your father or your grandfather have ever had.
Right.
Just by investing that money into an Index Universal Plan. So if we can get our young children to look at life different, like I was explaining earlier. Right. The foundation that I put together called Voices of Children Foundation, all I want to do is teach young kids in America, Africa, Asia, Latin America, those who are underprivileged, so they can't give up. They're God-given children, and everybody have a potential to becoming somebody in this world.
So your foundation is focused on empowering children to start thinking, to change that mentality, start thinking of the future and how to manage themselves at a very young age.
Very young age.
I think that's really important.
The foundation have 4 core areas. We got sustainable education.
Okay.
Through that educational program, we can blend our English way of, education, the French system of education, the American system of education, so they can have an exposure. Right. There's nothing wrong in collaborating the two.
No.
Now, under sustainable healthcare, a lot of our African, boys, women, and girls are getting into the healthcare field. Right. But we forget to realize some little stuff. Do we take this same education that we have on the healthcare back home to teach our people hygiene, why we
basic things like hygiene or environment,
why we have the
that's right,
that we have typhoid,
why it is important to be clean,
typhoid, all those stuff.
Yeah.
So when you look at some of this, when that foundation is launched, you guys are going to be happy that I put this stuff together.
That's wonderful.
The kids are going to be happy.
That's wonderful.
Because it's time for us to start giving to our children.
That's true.
Because if we can teach 100 kids on sustainable education, agriculture, healthcare, and technology.
Right.
Because technology is what is taking over now.
That's huge.
In the next, say, 15 years, by the time the kid was 6 years old when they went to elementary school, by the time they graduate from university,
right,
we have a beautiful,
wow,
a beautiful country.
That's right. So that's wonderful. The Voices of Children Foundation is about raising kids with a different mindset.
Yep.
I think that's huge. That's great, and it's going to impact the next generation.
That's what we're looking for.
That's right.
That's
so, you know, the members of the audience may want to reach you to see if, you know, if they can work with you, or you can help them to set up their financial plans, or, you know, help with health insurance if they don't have it, or even get involved with the Voices of Children Foundation. So how do you think they can reach you? What's the best way? The best way, you can call my number, 240-779-3747. Or you can go on my website. I have www.kenandkeninsuranceagency.com. If you go to the Contact Us page, when it opens up, you can leave your contact information, and we'll get an email right away, and we'll be able to get back with you and answer all your questions. So on the Voices of Children Foundation, it's in the making. It's in the making. And it's going to be launched anytime soon. Right. When we're ready for that fundraising, I hope I'll be able to invite some of you, and you guys can tell a lot of your other people, so we can all get together. But one good thing that I want to let everybody know, when you come to the page that says donation, right, I have set it up where everyone, including the young children who are 18 and above, they can become a member. Right. $1 membership, that's all we ask for. If you want to pay $12 for the whole year, you can donate $12. But all we ask for is $1 membership fee. This way we can have enough money to be able to help these children. They have good blackboards for them, the teachers, to write. They have good tables and chairs for them to sit, so they can have a roof over their head. I mean, you guys know how some of our elementary schools look like back home. Oh my God. So we want to be able to see if we can make some of these changes. Yeah. And another thing that is very, very important, we're going to have a program that we're going to call a book drive. We're going to have a barbecue and a book drive. So you guys clean your house. All the books that you're not reading anymore in your house that you're not using, your mom and dad, your kids, we need all this. That's right. We can send containers to Cameroon full of books, and the schools, and the elementary schools, we want this kid to be able to have varieties of books where they can read, and that also help their knowledge. Sure. Because knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. And that's what this show is about. On the Move with Lady K, bringing you knowledge that will transform the way we think, will transform our community. Thank you so much, Mr. Kenneth Epie. And I hope that, you know, the information you've shared will benefit one or two people out there. A whole lot. A whole lot of people out there. Thank you so much. It was great to have you. Thank you for inviting me to your show. Thank you.